Woo! What's up, everybody? I tell you, just got off of work, checked out Brandon Tatum and Colin Noir's take on, what's the kid name? Kyle Rittenhouse, and also checked out Brandon Tatum's take on Joshua Blake. I really have to say this, and I gotta let you know something that's been bothering me for a while. Some people are pieces of shit. And what makes it messed up is that they don't even understand how disgusting they are. I look at a guy like Brandon Tatum. I actually like Colin Noir, but I don't agree with everything he says. As a police officer, we are supposed to actually deal with the situation that's in front of us as is. Especially if you're in the patrol division. You deal with what you have in front. But why is it that every freaking time you got to pull up the record? Oh, he's wanted for this. He's wanted for that. So what? We're here for this. Not one time, with the exception of the always iffy, I don't know about the first shooting. Or, it may be good, maybe not. Did I hear Brandon Tatum even talk about anything negative about Kyle? He literally pulled up pretty much the arrest record of Kyle Blake. Nah, and I'm just like, excuse me, Jacob Blake. And I'm thinking to myself, not one person said Kyle should have never brought his ass down there in the first place. I looked at Colin Noir's take on it. Well, he's a lawyer, I guess, all intents and purposes. But when he made the statement that this country sends 18-year-olds to fight on other countries against other people, I was 17 when I joined the army. I'm pretty damn sure the type of training I received with the U.S. Army supersedes and is vastly superior to whatever Kyle Rittenhouse has ever had in his life. You do not use deadly force to defend property, it's to defend life. I look at this and I've always said this two different worlds. You're making this kid to look like a hero, brandishing firearms in an already heated area. Like, for God's sakes, this is the reason why untrained people should not be involved in these situations because you already have something that is grossly ugly, disgusting. Now, what's happening is that you're going to embolden a lot of people to do the same. You got a 17-year-old kid who was dropped off, or we're guarding this gas station. They're giving me Overwatch. Just listening to him when somebody was interviewing sounded like he was living his Call of Duty wet dream. See, we have a failure to realize that if Kyle was black, he would have been stopped by the police. His weapon would have been confiscated and or arrested. See, when you live in two different worlds, you have two different perspectives. You want to play the hero, excuse me, but you see how a lot of these guys from the Caucasian persuasion, they're these doughy looking boys who play Call of Duty, buy their rifles, or their parents get their rifles, put themselves in a dangerous climate, and their first response is deadly force. I'm looking at this from several angles of thought. Colin Noir said that he's justified in defending himself, but you cannot take the law into your own hands. When you go out there into the wilderness, you should expect to have a beast of nature to basically confront you. What makes absolutely no sense whatsoever is that what was he going to do any differently that trained paramedics, EMTs, police officers, and military personnel couldn't? You were looking for an excuse. But did anybody pull up his record? Everybody wants to put up pictures of him helping the community. No one said that he was a bad kid. See, I'm going to say things that are fair, regardless if it's the popular vote. I'm going to say things that are the truth, regardless of the court of public opinion. Brandon Tatum, Colin Noir, I like you, Colin, but y'all wrong on this. Somebody should have been an adult and guided this young man who just so happens to be a dumbass the hell out of this situation. You pretty much put yourself in a compromising position that no military personnel, armed security officer, or police officer would envy. What's up, everybody coming in? DJ Moss, woo. Tampa Supreme 813, woo. Alan Wiley, woo. Gold Professor, woo. I'm tired of always trying to make these dumbass little hero seeking idiots look like heroes. When in fact, you're just getting in the goddamn way. You're not even. If you really wanted to play Call of Duty, why don't you get your mom to sign the waiver and join the military? You know why? It's no different than when you have a black kid out there saying that he doesn't need to study, he doesn't have to go to school because his hoop dreams is going to take him to make it big. Good luck. Good luck with that. What makes it even worse? These fools who believe in him started a GoFundMe and he's already got $100,000. $100,000 and growing. Because they're going to push the narrative that we're going to help one of ours. How the hell can you explain this stuff instead of keeping guys like him the fuck out of these situations where unless he was already graduated, or at least wait till you're 18, become a cadet, 17 and a junior, you could join the military. Go. Get some formal training. But once again, nobody shows his record. Nobody even showed a goddamn report card. It's sickening. Jacob Blake. I mean, they showed everything he did. They showed when he stole penny candy at the age of 5. Well, he should have not resisted. You were literally, both these guys were stopped by police and 2 different outcomes. Even with the Jacob Blake, not one person went for his legs. Did he have a knife? Did he have a weapon? Was he getting in a car? If you feared that much, you wouldn't let him in that car, would you? But like I said before on previous podcasts, those officers thought when they pulled their guns out, end all be all. He's going to comply because I have this big gun. Ha 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 ha. And he kept walking. Like, wait. That wasn't part of the script. You couldn't take him down by his legs. You have 3 officers on top of him. I mean, you're struggling with him like he's the second coming of like Black Dynamite you see on the screen. Well. And the excuse is going to be that he was so superhuman that we were about to call Steve Rogers and Tony Stark and Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne to help us. Like right there, something tells me that y'all not used to going hands on. You were afraid to punch him because it looks bad. What looks worse? Punching a guy in the face, joint manipulation, or shooting a person? Now, let's behave. This one question. I'm not against an officer using deadly force when deadly force is called upon. Let's get that straight. If you have a weapon that can do serious bodily harm or death, it is what it is. And 99.99% of people are okay with that. Give me a woo in the chat if you're okay with that. Because everybody believes in the stupid games rule. You play stupid games, you get stupid ass prizes. But the whole time, everybody wants to point out this, point out his warrant, point out this. And I'm like, let's say he goes and he complied. Domestic violence warrant, right? Is he going to go to Burger King? They're going to ask if he's hungry. What's up, Leon? Woo. Are they going to take him because of that warrant, because they pulled up his record? Or are they going to treat him out for food? I just want to know. Because what's the guy name who shot up the church? That's what they did after he slaughtered unarmed innocent people. They took him out. If anybody knows the name of the guy, that's Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof, that's the name. Dylan Roof. Are they going to give him the same treatment if he would have complied as Dylan Roof? I just want to know. When is it policy to take a prisoner to go eat instead of taking his ass down straight to bookings? I mean, later today, we're going to have the first annual law enforcement and corrections, conference. But, Leon, are y'all supposed to take motherfuckers to the drive-thru when you're taking them to court? Because I know part of our policy is hell no. So, at any time this guy was pointed out to be the shooter, this guy actually went home and turned himself in. And he's being expedited back to, I forget what the city is in Wisconsin. But yet, is there such quickness and aggression you see when police confront black males compared to white males? And people say comply. But you're interviewing a young white kid who, number one, not one goddamn cop said, okay, I want to see ID. I want to see licensing. Colin Noir said something about hunting. Motherfucker, you're in the middle of an urban environment. There ain't no fucking deer. Ain't no fucking bears. You don't use it to defend property. Even if somebody's breaking into your house, if they see you with a gun and they leave out, can't shoot them in the back. It's deadly force to defend life. So when I see this shit, and I'm looking at Brandon Tatum, looking at these guys, and I'm like, yo, whatever happened, will we just call out evil and tyranny? I mean, I keep telling people comic books had shit right. The first edition of Captain America #1, the motherfucker punched Hitler in the face. He didn't try to negotiate with him. He didn't try to take him to the drive-thru and buy him a sandwich. He said, fuck you, and punched him. So, we get back, and you have all these people trying to justify Kyle Rittenhouse. When I just have to ask this question, if he was a black male, same age, same build, same weapon, what do you think will happen? Please, chat. Please tell me, what the fuck do you think would happen? Do you think that he would be allowed to go back home? Because I really do feel as though they're playing with kid gloves. I really do. There ain't no way in hell you're going to tell me, hey, Leon, click on that motherfucker and get up here. Because I feel an old Negro spiritual on this one before we have our conference today. Because I'm tired of people who are in the law enforcement profession not calling out pure tyranny. If I'm going to call it for the white man, I'm going to call it for the black man, I'm going to call it for the Asian man. See, the problem is that you got people like Brandon Tatum who are so hell bent on this bullshit neoconservatism bull that they can't even see that that kid was wrong. How many people said Tamar Rice shouldn't have been out there, right? 13 with a fake gun. I will tell you, he shouldn't have been out there. Could have been handled differently? It's a good chance. Hell yeah. Could have got distance. Could have been handled differently. Why isn't nobody saying the same shit about this kid? Oh, because he's not looked at as a threat. Even after taking 2 people's lives and shooting at others, he's not looked at as a threat. Think about that. But they want to convince you that we live in this post-racial world. Oh, we gave you a black president. And he's not looked at as a threat. Hey, what's up, Leo?
What's up, brother?
Uh, what's your take on this shit? Because this shit kind of upsetted me, and I usually don't do screams this early.
Yeah, that's. I just woke up like about 15 minutes ago and just saw it. Good morning, everybody. I know y'all usually see me in the chat, and I usually don't get on like that as often. But it's upsetting, man, because I know you deal with that on the street as a police, but see behind the walls, we deal with that bullshit also.
Mm-hmm.
Where I noticed that certain white officers will cater to some of the white inmates. And for me, I feel like an inmate is an inmate at the end of the day. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they give me that respect, I respect them. Um, it becomes very annoying, dealing with a lot of inmates because, again, we have at least about 800 inmates, where I'm working. And you're dealing with so many different personalities, never mind the fact that you're dealing with your coworkers and their personalities, and you're dealing with administration and their personalities.
You said
You know,
800 people in the facility,
800 inmates, yes, sir.
and how much? How many correctional officers?
Uh, about maybe 250
So you're telling me you have more people in that facility than most towns in America?
right now. Yeah, for the county, we're the only county, for Baltimore County, we're the only place where they can come to for Baltimore County.
Hmm. Because I know Anne Arundel County got Jennifer Rowe. Of course, we
Yeah,
got
they have
Central Booking.
the lowest inmate population in Arundel,
Yeah,
but
and
we
I had
have
a
more.
yeah, I got a huge population. I mean,
Yeah,
that's huge. That
um,
a lot of people don't know how huge that really is.
yeah, it's a lot, man.
And to think about this, I look at I, I look at this shit from a scientific standpoint. If Dylan Roof was caught slaughtering church-going people, what were they guilty of? Armed with Bibles,
Right? Yeah, I can dig it.
and they took him to a drive-through to see if he was hungry.
Hmm.
While he's in the back, would the same would have been done for Jacob Blake if he would have, you
Hell
know?
no. Hell no.
And for those of you listening, this is a small tidbit and a preview of what's going to go on to later today for the first annual conference. It may be a monthly conference, it may be a yearly conference, but we'll see how the first one goes and we'll go accordingly. But from your expertise as a correctional officer, is it a part of the Baltimore County Correctional Center and its policy to take well, they're no longer suspects, to take a prisoner or defendant to the drive-through?
So I do not believe that is in the policy. Uh, for us when they're being transported to go to court, never seen no such thing. Um, I think it was ridiculous that they took this dude they took him to Burger King or something, Dylan Roof.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you gotta be fucking
So,
kidding me.
so I'm
You
looking
know,
at it. I'm looking at it. There, this Kyle Rittenhouse. They're interviewing him. He's got his little med kit on, his little AR-15. You know,
Mhm.
we're here to protect this gas station and to keep the protest peaceful.
Man.
So we're looking at this, and they're interviewing him, and he's armed to the teeth. Would a black man ever be stopped by the police with a gun on him and will be spoken to in a calm voice? Would a black man ever be spoken to armed to the teeth, not touching the weapon straight? Would that ever happen? Have we ever seen it happen? Because we're just going off the spirit of fair play.
Nah, it wouldn't have happened. His ass would have been decapitated.
I mean, some Highlander Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod shit.
For real.
Because, and I do have white friends, and even they said this is some dumb shit. Why the fuck he take his ass there?
Took him to Burger King, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
And I just thought about it, like, no, if this was Lil Mike, they wouldn't have took his ass to no fucking Burger King. He would have went straight to Buc-ee's.
Oh, he either would have been shot on sight, or they would have went straight to Buc-ee's.
Oh yeah.
Well, what if you comply? Well, if I comply, do I get to have it my way? Can I get supersized?
Like, oh man, it's really ridiculous, man. It's like they're starting to cater to the criminals, and for us in the jail, they're catering to the inmates. It's just ridiculous.
Well, see, you got to realize, Rocket King, guys like him are the same profile as a George Zimmerman, a wannabe, a wish he could be. He couldn't make it through corrections. He couldn't make it through the military. He couldn't make it through the police department. So the next best thing, I'm going to buy me a nice big old shiny gun because I'm compensating for something below and brain matter. And I'm going to become block captain of the neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
And he's going to be one of them guys, Leon. Yeah, we got a perp over here. You know,
right.
Nobody says the word perpetrator.
Yeah, exactly. You know he'll want to be. Man, it's like I said, it's ridiculous, brother. And
Go ahead.
No, I was saying I pray for you guys all the time because I know you guys are the police on the street, and we're the police in the jail, and we deal with
y'all because y'all gotta live. That's where they live once we catch them.
Yeah, you ain't lying, brother. You know, I appreciate that. It's like I said, that job can be very stressful. We deal with a lot of nonsense, like how they have y'all write 95s. They make us write what's called 121s. And it's the same thing. It's just different numbers. If you know, an inmate wants to write a what's called a 200 form, like for y'all, or, you know, for you guys, I think just if they want to write just a complaint about an officer, and I've had it done with me. You know, I want a 200 form, man. I don't like how you treat me. I'm like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be one of the baddest motherfuckers in this jail. You know, but you talk all this shit, but now you want to write me up. I'm like, you know, okay. I'll give you, you know, I try to be as professional as I can, but sometimes, man, these guys take you somewhere else, man. And you know, sometimes it's hard just dealing with so many damn ignorant people. You know, but
and it's funny. I'm reading some of the chats about white privilege. See, I'm going to touch on white privilege if you don't mind for a second.
Go ahead, brother.
See, privilege itself is such a weird word. because now you're having these feminist groups talk about black men have black male privilege.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. They got
I
all the
wish
privilege.
I wish I was fucking joking because man, I'd be making some Richard Pryor classic, some Eddie
Oh,
Murphy Raw classic shit.
black
So
male privilege. That's a good
how
one.
the fuck do we have black male privilege? Because I remember Dr. T.S.R. Johnson even said it because he even had to laugh. Some feminists told him that when we die, we get remembered.
Shout out to the feminist group Black Lives Matter.
Oh yeah, some Marxist fucks. Like, how privileged are we when we're the least educated, we're the least employed, we're the least with our children? Not because we don't want them, it's because y'all act like they're yours and not ours.
Mm-hmm.
We're the most confronted by law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
So what's this privilege thing again? Well, black men used to get the big piece of chicken. Get the fuck out of here. Well, black men are always remembered and martyred because we're 20 times more likely to get killed by the cops than you.
Yeah, some women just don't think before they react. Again, it's logic over emotions. The majority of the women in, especially in this era, get away with murder incorporated. She could do no wrong. It's okay for her to put her hands on a man, but if a man puts his hands on her, oh my God, you hit a woman.
Yeah,
And
call the police.
for me, let me be clear. I don't condone putting my hands on anyone. But I don't care about your gender. If you want to be treated like an equal, I'm gonna give you equal treatment. Plain and simple. And I know for some that sound fucked up, but oh well.
I mean, think about it. They go to these protests. The protest, the same police, they will call on their husbands and boyfriends when they
Right,
feel, when they feel, not when committed a crime,
right.
when they feel that he's got out of line.
Yeah, I'm gonna call the police.
But then,
That's it.
if he gets killed, he'll protest.
Right.
We'll get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's a
But
bunch
yet,
of bull.
but yet, in the Gray Faulkner Initiative, how many times have we said, if you're tired of the treatment of the police, become the police?
Exactly. What do you think the Irish and the Italians do? Italians, I believe, have always been the fire department. Irish always been the police department.
Exactamundo. So when you
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. When you actually plot your life accordingly, you actually can dictate generations to later to come, such as
Indeed.
generational wealth and employment,
Indeed.
such as who gets hired and who gets fired, such as the treatment of people when they interact with the police. And I'm sorry, something about the Jacob Blake shit sits wrong with me. Now, if the guy had a weapon, it's one thing. Or was reaching for a weapon, that's one thing. But
Uh-huh.
not one person went to tackle him, holster up and tackle him. I would love to see the defense tactics coordinator.
Yeah.
I would love to see the manual.
Man.
You get fluffy, pair built white guys as police who never been around black people a day in their life till they got the job.
Yeah,
And you can't do the fucking. You can't do it. You can't do the job.
they don't need to do the job if they that damn terrified. 'Cause I don't think it's justified for them shooting them 7 times. You know, it looked
Is
like
he?
when I seen that video, he was like he had a knife or something, but I would have tased his ass or something. But
Uses didn't work, but it's like, yo,
mm,
if he had a knife on him and
mm,
y'all rushed on the ground with him, how could he get up with 3 cops on his back? I mean, shit. Some people be like, well, Arthur Faulkner, what if you were there? He would have got up.
that's the damn show.
Something if I really think he's really reaching for a knife or a gun in his pocket,
Yeah,
arms would have been snapped, he would have been shot at point blank range. Okay? Because we can justify that. Broken bones, shot, stabbed, something. There's no fucking excuse. You got 3 cops on this guy unless he had PCP and he had the power of Grayskull in his ass.
mm,
Fuck gives. Now, I'm the first person to tell you, why do you bring multiple officers to the situation? Because you don't know the capabilities of that human being.
exactly.
The average male can bench press 135 pounds. I can bench press up to 485.
You know, and that's why when I hear so many people like, why they got so many police officers for this one person? I'm like, again, you don't know what that person is capable of doing. So some people talking out of their ass and don't know what the hell they talking about. Same with us when we have to call a code in the jail, and it's like how y'all have Signal 13. We have code 2 officer involved. Everybody's coming to that code. So once they come to that code, and they, you know, all them is, it don't take all of y'all to deal with that one person. Again, we've had guys that were on PCP, and man, that shit was crazy. You know, and again, one guy that we had to slam on the ground because this boy, I think this motherfucker was trained to fight Thanos. Like it, it was hard to get him on the ground. We done maced him and everything, man, and uh, we finally got him on the ground, but that motherfucker was dumb strong, and I wound up being on hospital detail with this guy, but he was like going in and out. He had tubes in his mouth and everything because, um, you know, they were saying they found other stuff in his system or whatever. So by the time he's really like conscious, he looks up and he see me, and he's looking like real hard, and he noticed that, oh, that's the motherfucker that slammed me. He gives me the finger, uh, makes his hand like a gun, saying he was gonna shoot me and all this shit. But, man, you just deal with so much stuff inside that jail that, like I said, a lot of people just don't see. So I know some folks don't recognize us as law enforcement, which does piss me off because, again, I feel like we're just as much law enforcement as the police.
I mean, you gotta house them, take care of them. You gotta correct them. You gotta break the fights. You gotta medically support them.
Yep.
It's pretty much the same shit. And
Exactly.
I'll say that. So just to let people who are asking, you know, when we have multiple cops on the scene, it's not to signify presence. It's because the purpose of it really is supposed to keep things from getting to the incident of shooting someone because of their strength in numbers. How does it look if a 5'5" female, 5'3", 125, 130 pounds, is trying to arrest me at 5'10", 280 pounds? Is she going to win that fight? No, she's going to pull out that weapon.
Right.
And to prevent that, you're going to have more units on the scene. And just like when you're in the jail, you're going to have more units to deal with that suspect because it's less likely you're going to do him harm and less likely he's gonna be able to harm you. Does it work like that all the time? No, but 9 out of 10, it actually works to benefit both sides. And when you fight a guy on PCP, which I had the pleasure and displeasure, that's a situation where you literally hit him till he falls. You literally hit him till he falls, and trust me, if any of you have never heard of Brandon Tatum, because today I kept hearing about him from Art New Style, and I finally went to look at some of his videos, and I'm just like, you know what? I just can't. I just can't with these people.
Mhm.
And like, how do you forget being black? How? You got these guys out here who's trying to be these conservatards. When, okay, if you're conservative, okay, I get that. You want marriage, you want family, cool. But don't ever let your conservatism outweigh your blackness. You get what I'm saying, Leon?
Yeah, I definitely hear you on that.
Yes, it is to prevent deadly force, because
It's one thing to be conservative. It's one thing to be on some bullshit.
exactly, like
So,
shit does not exist for black men that exists nowhere else in the world.
right. And, just saying for the record, that's why, there are things I'm conservative about. But, that's why I like to mentor a lot of the younger guys that's in that jail. Because you can tell a lot of these boys don't have no father. No kind of brother, no kind of father figure. And when you talk to them, just the way they talk, they have like this nasal, like beta male way of talking, and they get emotional real quick. And it's like when you pull them up one-on-one and you talk to them, these boys got good sense. It's just they just need attention. And I think that again, man, a lot of these women that have these boys, honestly, these boys need fathers, man, and they just drop down, get the eagle on with an ain't shit ass dude and want to blame the men. But I'm like, no, but you are in charge of your vaginal kingdom. So who chose them? So that's the way I look at it, man. But when I talk to a lot of these young guys, man, I've had a couple that gotten out, gotten their CDLs, or just started working, and I'm happy for them. I'm just like, don't bring your ass back in there. Like, hell no, you ain't gonna see me no more, Stokes. All right. So I'm happy about that. There's some that I can't get through, and I'm telling them like, man, that gang shit only lasts 15 minutes, and unfortunately, that guy caught 120 years, but it is what it is, What we say earlier, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
And what makes it really disgusting is when people try to flip the script. When he's white, you're showing pictures of the community and him handing out turkeys and shit. When he's black, you're digging for his record. You're going to 5th grade when he was in detention. When he was put in time out at 4. Even his mother had to whoop his ass. So should the police. Even his father had to go upside his goddamn head.
Yeah.
So should the police. And instead of actually saying, you know what, usually what I say when a lot of these troll tards, when one of these cases come out, I usually say, hey, you got to wait till the investigation is over. More credible witnesses and forensics are done. Then I'll give my opinion. But from the stance of what it looks now, it doesn't look good. You want people to say, I want you, why? You think the police didn't have nothing? Of course you believe I'm conscious. No, you're not. If you were
Right.
truly conscious, you would. What's up, Craig Harper? Woo! Beretta 42. What's up? See, if you were truly conscious, you would be out there trying to initiate the Gray Faulkner Initiative by getting more black police officers. You would get some of these guys who need a job, their job, a career, someone who's fully capable, willing, and able to serve his goddamn community.
That's
Instead of this beta male talk. And when I'm using beta male, matter of fact, the fucking the lowest of the low zeta males, them fucking incel, I'm scared to go outside type of men, and actually do something for their community instead of siphoning from it. Oh yeah, it's wee early. Hey, Miss TJ, what's your beautiful self? Woo. See, ask not what your community could do for you. Ask what you could do for your community. See, this is a little prelude to the convention that we're going to have tonight for Black law enforcement, correction, public safety. And we're going to tell you the nitty and gritty, the down and dirty about what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to tell you about what the hell's being spoken. Because I would invite Brandon Tatum. If you want me to send an email to Brandon Tatum and see what he says, give me a woo in the chat. Because a lot of people feel as though it's a long time coming before a discussion was had before me and officer or Mr. I don't know if he's still police, Tatum. Because I'm diametrically opposed to a lot of shit that's being said by these black constituents or these black conservatives, these black Republicans who forgot that they're number one, black first. See, I don't talk out the side of my ass off of some, well, this guy could have done. No, I've been pulled over at gunpoint. Twice.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that, brother.
As a police officer, I've been hit. See, the point is this. When you exclude yourself from your community and you get kicked out of the one you're trying to be, guess what? You're a man without a country now. You can't go back. You get these phony guys who want to get all these, like, how the fuck do you have over 1 million subscribers? Close my car door for this. How the fuck do you get 1 million subscribers talking that bullshit? Bullshit. I'm looking at this shit. This motherfucker got 1.28 million subscribers. But yet, your dude can't even get. I'm just like, yo, this shit here. Damn, I even make my man Jabbar a mod. I gotta make him a mod. But yet, you got this motherfucker talking all this shit about black people, but we need to comply. Exactly. Craig Harper said, you know, Charles, it's not worth it. He's married to a Becky, talks like a Brad, says what white folks want to hear, and that's how you get 1 million subs. Facts. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with him. well, black people need to comply. They say the same thing about slavery, right? Still there, Leon?
Yeah, I'm right here, brother. Just looking at something. My lieutenant just lost her father, man.
Oh, my condolences.
Um,
Wow.
and this is crazy.
My
Yeah,
condolences.
she just lost her father, and yeah, I don't want to put all the information out there, but she lost her father, and she's a really cool lieutenant. She do jump in my ass sometimes, like she's my mother, but that's just the majority of a lot of black women, man. Like when they give you that bomb treatment in a lot of ways at that job, and she's older, so I love her to pieces, man. She's a sweet lady, boy, but she will jump on you.
Yeah.
But so give you praise, when you do a good job and everything. But I'm just hurting for her because it's like, her losing her father and me, when I lost my mom 5 years ago. So I know what she's dealing with.
Yeah.
You know.
We got Miss Gigi up on the panel. What's up, Gigi?
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Hey,
I tell you what it is. What do you think about these guys coming up here, always putting up the records of black men? And these are black celebrities, black police officers. What's up, Josh? Woo!
all
Hey,
right,
Josh.
Josh.
Just let you know, the Black Law Enforcement Conference and Convention today at around about 5 or 6. See, what do you think, Miss Gigi, about that? Like, but yet Kyle Rittenhouse, who's a 17-year-old white kid with a fucking AR, like his mother's driving him down. Like, what the hell would you thinking about taking your son and letting him go out to that fucking shit? I want to get your take on it, Gigi.
Led to what?
So that
Miss
you know about
Ugly.
that Kyle Rittenhouse, the kid with the AR who shot the people.
Oh, she probably didn't even know about it.
Mm.
I'm gonna say, kids are slick, and sometimes we don't know what they're up to. That's why we always got to keep an eye on them.
And I want to also, hey Josh, come up here real quick as well. And you're right, we got to keep an eye on him. But I'm just like, with the same notion of him being a good guy be said if he was black?
It's still the same notion. It's just the way they screw the storyline. They make us the villain. Black is not the right way, kind of thing. That's all it is. I mean, it's still the same crime,
Yeah,
but who's gonna get the most time?
if he gets time.
Exactly. Or if he survives to see time, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's self-defense. I'll say it's self-defense. I know he walked out into an area that he shouldn't have been, but it's self-defense.
To whom?
No, they Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse.
No, self defense to what? Because we don't
Well,
know what that means. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because I
we know
can
what it
scream.
means.
No, what I can scream self defense all I want. They're just gonna make me the perpetrator, not the or a victim. If I say self defense, they're gonna say no. You did that because you stayed there. Compared to say someone who's white, who screamed, "Well, it was self defense. I had to kill my husband," and then she got the insurance money and millions and whatever, and got the mention. Compared to say if I'm broke and I'm black and this dude was beating me every day, and I killed him for self-defense because I saw him putting his hands on my child or whatever, then I'm a criminal.
Uh-huh. And think about it. This is what I see in the black media every day. And we're so quick to jump out, and Gigi and Leon, we're so fucking quick to jump out there just to prove a point.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like we're getting like the fucking cookie or a couple of dollars out of it.
So
We're
I
getting a
always
good
want to hear.
story. We're getting a good freaking laugh.
It's always why I
Nothing's
want to
funny
get the
about
full.
it.
Like it's sad because brothers got to get shot, and instead of saying, oh, excuse me, folks, I'm
Stop
saying, you know
that.
what?
Oh my
I
gosh.
know.
Stop.
I just got off of work, so I had a Negro
Mhm.
spiritual in my heart to say. Instead of saying we need to check on the tactics, we need to check on the incident. Does it equate for the end result? Well, if this guy had a knife or anything in his hand and he was going to be a danger, why did y'all let him up? Well, we had him on the ground. Nobody took one limb. You had three people take a limb. One guy takes two. One person takes a third.
We're in a society now where people are really, really afraid, but not afraid to pull their cameras out.
Mhm.
I mean, as long as I have my camera, I'm safe. And it's like, that's their shield. And I'm like, okay, keep thinking that.
Mm. It's crazy because eventually something's going to have to give. Because when, let's say, there would have been a white guy, same thing happened. Okay, cool. But when you actually have accounts of taking a guy who slaughtered a church and taking him to, yeah, that ain't right. You're not giving us fair treatment. Fair, unbiased, impartial. I don't see it.
Well, the first time I heard of a church shooting, which was weird because it was at my church that I would go to every Sunday, or every day actually, because my father had been in every curriculum at church. I was on the choir and everything, but we were running late for church, and in the parking lot, this dude walks up to his girlfriend and shot her on the head, and that's it.
Wow.
It was it. Yep. There was no church that day. I was like, instead, it was kind of like, getting prepared for her funeral.
Wow. That's some heavy shit. You're going
Yeah.
to places.
But,
Think about it.
but
You're
you know
going
what I
to a
mean?
place.
People just take lives like it don't matter.
Exactly.
They take
And,
it like it's like given, and it's like something you can flick off, like it's like I don't know, parasite or something. I don't know what they think. I really cannot understand how some of these people think, because I did study psychology in class at one point, but it came down to the middle of the nonsense that some people are just gonna do what they're gonna do. You can't help them.
uh-huh.
Indeed.
Mm.
And you know what, Charles?
Yes, sir.
That's why I said when I reach out to some of the younger guys that's inside there, the inmates, and some of them, again, you can't help them because they with it. You know, a lot of them are just with that shit. So as being BGF, Blood, Crip, or whatever gang they're part of. At 19-year-old kid, yo, I don't want you to give me no advice. You don't know me like that. I am who I am. I'm like, little motherfucker, you ain't seen life yet. You know, you 19. You know, but
Right.
it's a rap for him. Yeah, and it's
And
just it's too late.
and some of them haven't even been to jail yet. It's like they've been institutionalized at home.
Yeah, and I
They've
think
been
a lot of
conditioned at home.
Mhm. It's sad. Like 19 years old. He wound up catching like 20 years. He had a murder charge also, and it's just like I said, man. 19 years old. You haven't seen life, and you know you already done caught 20 years.
And what does that mean to him? He just sees it as a number. He doesn't even see that that's his life passing by
That's
until
it.
he gets it.
And I think, unfortunately for him, I'm praying that while he's I don't know whether he went to JCI or ECI, um, and I'm hoping there's some older cat that's in there that can actually reach to him. You know, but it's just sad. But I think as he get older, maybe he'll get he'll get it once he gets older. Because when you're 19, you think you know every damn thing. So you
Yeah,
know,
you think you're grown, right?
right? It's like you think you know everything. Josh, you bastard!
What up?
Hey,
I'm
Josh.
sorry, Miss Gigi. I
How
have
y'all
to say
doing?
that to him. It's like
It's okay, Liam.
yeah, I have to do that.
It's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I would
always
have been
tell
on
me
a
I
couple
need
of
to get
minutes ago,
on
but I
here.
had to get myself together. I just
Yeah.
just woke up not too long ago.
If you know me, I have no hard feelings.
Oh, okay. That's
I
what's
may,
up.
I may, I may, I may cuss you out, but I don't have no
Oh,
hard feelings.
oh,
I'm
I
not
hear
gonna
that.
talk about you.
Oh, so you more like how Vera Walker when she beat up Eddie Murphy on Harlem Nights, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna be like, whatever. You shot my pinky toe, okay?
Oh, man, that's funny. So, Josh, what's up, yo?
What's going on?
So what's your take on? I don't know if you heard of the guy Brandon Tatum. I know Coleon Noir. I knew of him for years. Brandon Tatum, he was quick. He's a police officer. Got over 1.2 million subs.
hmm
And he put out the business and all the records of Jacob Blake. But for the Kyle Rittenhouse, he was like, "Well, I don't know about the first shooting. He might be justified, but the rest of them he's justified." And he said he looks like a good kid, just that and the fourth. I'm like, does a black guy
What?
with a 17-year-old in the same situation would he be called a good upstanding boy too?
Hell no. They'd be like, he's a monster.
I want you to go in depth with that.
Oh, what did this kid do? What happened?
Wasn't that the one that went into the crowd and was popping people? Was just like picking people off during that protest?
Yeah, because they
And
were
then
attacking.
he called the cops and was like,
Oh,
he called the cops himself and was like, "Oh, I did something." Mind you, as he was like just capping them, police was running past him, not even paying this nigga no mind. That's the thing I don't understand about that, because I think my mom was telling me about that too the other day, and I was like, "What?"
okay.
Yeah, that police department would have fired my ass because I would have shot him. I'm sorry. Shoot,
Okay.
you firing into a crowd and everybody's just like acting like this white
That
boy not doing that.
my brother-in-law, my brother my brother-in-law is a police officer,
Mm-hmm.
and he was trying to get me into the force, and I was like, nope. Well, I used to be a flight attendant and stuff, but I'm like, nope, because I know how I am. I'm gonna shoot people. Like, then he's all like, what are you talking about? So like, you're the nicest person I know. I said, yeah, but I'm trigger happy. Like, I'm not even gonna pull out my handcuffs or nothing because I'm not trying to get kinky. I'm trying to look, stay down. I'm shooting them in the legs.
You a mess. And it's funny, and it's funny. People always say that too, like shoot them in the leg. I'm telling you, that is one of the hardest things you could possibly do, is try to shoot somebody in the leg. Trust me, I
My
tried
aim
it at
is good.
I tried it at the range. Well, but
If
when
I
you
was a
but when
man,
you in a
I'd get
situ
every woman pregnant.
but when you're in a situation where somebody's shooting at you, your whatever your shooting percentage is, you could be 100. It'll go down by at least it could go from 100 to 30% shooting if you're in like a real shooting situation. I mean, I just thank God that I never got into that. I always
Well,
like me and
Josh,
Charles, we always
you
like
know
using our
the
hands.
best, but I've been in shooting ranges, and that's where I'll be aiming straight for the leg area. They're like, "Why are you?" I said, "I don't want to hurt him."
No, they tell no, they teach us center mass like anywhere in the torso area. But yeah, I mean, hey, if you're actually good at shooting somebody in the leg, shoot, I call you RoboCop. Because that's seriously. Because I think RoboCop, the only person I've seen that can actually do that,
Well,
and that's new.
after 9/11, as a flight attendant, they started to show us comeback moves and giving us tasers and zip ties and stuff. And they're like, "Why are you not aiming for the neck?" And I'm like, "Because what if he has a heart condition?"
What? You better kill. Look, you better kill his Taliban ass. And you know the crazy thing is that you bring up 9/11 too, because I was actually in New York when it happened. I was telling Leon about that yesterday. I was in fifth grade, but I was there. I seen the I didn't see the planes, but I seen like the aftermath of that shit because I was in Midtown. Yeah, that was a crazy and long day. I walked from 68th Street all the way to 3rd Avenue in the Bronx. That's like 50 blocks, yo. My leg was.
Jesus.
But that's extra work because I have to do the maneuvers on him, to revive him. I'm like, no, I just want to stun him and get the wrist ties on him. I don't want to kill him.
You better kill him because if you don't kill him, he gonna kill you. The moment you
That's
hear
right.
Allah Akbar, you know it's over.
No, not necessarily. But what I'm saying is that I'm not a killer. I'm a lover.
Gigi, you something else.
I'm sorry.
That is too funny. Yeah,
now
that's,
you
that's
now
funny.
you guys get my sense of humor. Okay, now I'm coming off better because before people weren't understanding the heck what they're like. What is wrong with her?
Oh, nah. Look, you talking to a bunch of police. We all got a funny sense of humor.
That's
I
it.
know.
Because I know for us, Josh, for y'all police and me being
They
CO, we got to have a sense of humor.
Oh my
No,
goodness, they carried me. Okay, my police officer people. Okay, they carried me right, and then threw me. So, they threw me. I don't know into the water, and then they were like, swim, girl, swim." And I was all like, "Oh my gosh, you're letting me die." I was like, "They're like, she's so dramatic." They were laughing at me. And then someone had to jump in and go get me because they were like, "She really sinking right
oh
Oh,
shit.
man. Wow.
Oh, well, they slip a bunch of stuff into my purse. So when I got home, I got into my purse and I'm like, "What is this?" they, they got like they put handcuffs in there. They put like gay porn in there. I'm like, what is going on right now?
Mm, wow.
you know how you guys do. You guys do some weird shit like that. I'll be like, oh no, stop it. Leave me alone.
Oh boy. Mm-mm-mm.
I know.
That's funny.
They're
Hey,
in
what's
my
up, Gold
family.
Professor?
You.
Hey, good morning. Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning, brother.
Good morning.
Hey, Gold.
Hey, hey, hey,
Man, what's
Charles.
up, man? Yo,
Hey, Charles. I asked you if you needed a coffee, sir, because that yawn was kind of strong, sir.
yeah, that's called. I need to get the. That was my. I just got the fuck off of work, y'all.
Yeah. Mhm.
I was at fuck this job work for another day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You got us up with you early, sir.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Brandon. That's because Brandon Tatum pissed me completely the fuck off.
Oh wow.
I'm just like, wait a minute. You talk about, well, this guy's a criminal. But wait a minute. But that white boy isn't?
Yeah. Let me ask you though. Let me ask you if they had taken, if he was a black guy that did that to the church. They took him to Burger King. Would you? What would be your take on that?
One, that black guy probably would have made it out alive. When have they ever treated black people who are murder suspects in that type of way?
Shit, never. Look at the white boy that shot up the church years ago. They took that nigga to Burger King.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm at. If they had took a black guy to Burger King after he didn't do some damage to a church, kill people, whatever, what would be your take on that? I'm just
Well,
curious because
oh,
we know it never happened, but
Hell no,
I'm
he
just
wouldn't
curious.
even be breathing.
Yeah,
He wouldn't even made it to
but
the Burger King. They would have been like, "What, Burger King? Pop, pop, pop." They
yeah,
would have been Rodney King in his
Gold,
ass real quick before you could
Gold
say
and
mother.
Josh. I took forensic psychology in college, and yeah, I had to let it go because I didn't want to. I figured it wasn't my cup of tea. I was like, I don't know about all this. It's starting to give me nightmares because of all the strange things that was happening. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, people who do strange things got a basis for it. They plan. Sometimes they plan it out. Sometimes they're sporadic about it.
Yeah.
It's up for us to figure out which one it is and why they do it. Because look, like Officer Faulkner, if you know, um, I have a brother that is an officer. So if when I walked up to him in the city, and I was working for the legal department, I was working for attorneys, and people were staring at me, thinking I was in trouble because he like kind of like took me to the side and we started talking. So they thought it was a confrontational thing when it wasn't. To them, their perspective was different. To me, I'm like, oh, this is my brother, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So when I went upstairs to after my lunch, and they're like, is there anything you need help with? My legal team was saying, is there anything you need help with? Do you need help with anything? And I'm like, with what? And they're like, well, we saw you speaking to that officer. And I'm going like, well, no, that's my brother. And they're like, oh, okay. So it wasn't nothing important. I said, no, he was just saying hi to me after lunch. But to them, to everybody else, it looked like, ooh, she about to get arrested. Ooh, she did something. You know what I'm saying?
That's because people nosy. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find it interesting that nobody can perceive a black guy being taken to Burger King after he been murdered people. Nobody, because I asked the question, you know, what is what would be your perception, your thought about that, and nobody can really even fathom that happening. That's just interesting, because I asked the
Yeah.
question, just out of curiosity,
Yeah, I seriously couldn't picture that. Like, if I saw that, I'd tell officers, like, "Go, you crazy?" Not because he's black, but anybody, like, even whether it's a white dude, black dude, Hispanic. If I see them taking a killer to go out to eat, I'm like, "Yo, are you retarded? Like, what's up with you?"
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that being said, I would have loved to be that person or that fly on the wall while they're sitting in there with this cat that murdered everybody, and then they sitting in Burger King with him. I'm just curious of how that went down. Like, are
Oh,
they
it goes
like,
down.
how are you? How did it feel to kill off people, blow up people, son? Are you feeling invigorated now?
Gold. I had as an assignment, I had to interview a serial killer, and I was like, I don't want to ever do this ever again. I dropped out of class after that. I was like, nope, I'm good. Cuz I could tell like he's playing me. He was like straight face, bold face, like straight charming, seemed normal. But I knew he did this crap because could feel it in my spine, you know? But
Okay,
he wanted to woo me in, and he was like, but he made me feel uneasy. I was like, nah, I'm good. Mm-mm.
okay. Let me ask you though. Um, do you think it would have laid out differently if you were a man? If he perceived you, if you were a man, do you think that type of uh feeling would have been there?
He would have been more probably aggressive. That's why
Like,
they send women. That's why they send women in for them to charm us. We're the bait.
uh-huh.
You understand?
Yeah, I
We're
understand. I understand.
baited. Yeah, we're a bait for them. Especially if you're an attractive woman, you're a bait, and then they're like, yeah, all right. And then they can see how they come on to women the way they do. And I remember going like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I wanted to leave so bad sitting
Yeah,
there.
but you don't know, but they don't know. You didn't know if this guy had women
Oh, he
problems,
confessed.
right?
He confessed. He knew. He did it. He said he did.
Okay, so let's say if he was speaking to Charles, you know, and he couldn't come at Charles the way he came at you, but he still
No, he
wanted to
wouldn't
admit
open up. Yeah.
he still wanted to admit what he did because it was more. It might have been his ego saying, you know what, I did this
He
and
wanted
I'll
to
do it to
impress
you.
somebody. Yes.
Yeah,
And that's what
yeah.
I'm saying. And that's why what I see sometimes online
Uh-huh.
is the same behaviors. And it's like an impressive, let me impress this person. But what I'm saying is, no, for a man, he wouldn't have done that same extra. He would have kept his shut, or he would have talked to him like a man and just been like, I'm done with this interview, blah, 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 blah. with me, he kept egging it on, and to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm done with the interview.
Yeah.
Because that his fixations was on me at the time, and I was like, I can't do this no more.
So
I felt
it was like,
violated by his own eyes. Like I felt violated by the whole stance, the whole thing. I was like, nah, I'm good. This is not cool. This is like I mean, I know I'm supposed to be a scientist, but this is too much of a scientist experiment, and I don't like it.
so you were Clarice.
Kind of, in a sort of kind of way, but I was starting out doing the forensic scientific thing where I went from psychology to forensic psychology, and then I even got the books to show for it. I've even went to the labs to do the forensics, lab experiments and everything. But I was like, I can't deal with criminals. I can't, because after a while it's just gonna bombard me and put me
Yeah.
to a stance of, what am I? What? Then I'm gonna have to question me, or is this gonna change me as a person? And I can't have that happening.
So how did you end up in that position? They just said, "Oh, okay, Gigi, we're gonna choose you to interview this
I
person."
was in school. I was in college.
Uh-huh.
So in college, that's part of the job. That part of the job is digging holes and finding, rotten flesh or whatever. Part of the job was, it was college curriculum. It was you see their patterns, or you see, and some of them don't have patterns. Actually, a lot of serial killers are not found out. They just, after a while, they want to be found out. So they just show their butts. But they can get away with murder. They just don't want to after a while. They want to be known. They want to be seen. They want to be on YouTube.
Yeah. When I listen to you, it sounds like several aspects of Silence of the Lambs. you know, I
Well,
listen.
yeah. Well, get to know me better and you'll find out more. But yeah. So yeah, I come off strange because I am strange, and I've dealt deeply into myself, and I've dealt deeply into certain consciousness and certain things that I need to involved in, which is art, and that's my love, and I'm not into negative people at all.
Okay. 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 So after you after you know ended that uh
Back and slide again.
Hey.
after
Hey,
you
hey
after,
guys.
at Gigi,
Hmm.
after you ended that, did you hold on to did some of that stick with you,
Of
or were you
course.
able to purge that out?
No, it stuck with me. It still sticks with me. And I still watch missing people or missing kids, and I still watch interviews, and I still categorize, or even when I'm in panels with certain people, I can tell, I can tell when they're being a perpetrator, a manipulator, or a narcissist, or somebody who's trying to get over, or someone
Mhm.
who is up to no good. I can tell it. And I can tell when one is a child also.
That's the reason why the conference we're having later today is going to be real important, because I get tired of these so-called, I'm a black man, I'm a conservative. Well, your conservatism should be, your blackness should be before your conservatism, because guess what? You're all going to be looked at as one big nigga anyway. Oh, we can't tell you a police officer. Well, oh, you should have flashed your badge. Why do I need to flash you a badge to get common decency and respect? Like, I'm just like, well, I think this guy was a good, upstanding guy. Well, I came out here to protect some property and to make sure the protesters are safe. An untrained fucking 17-year-old boy.
Officer, can I say one thing? I've been okay. I've never been arrested or whatever. Look, let me knock on wood.
Don't want to be.
But I have been like pulled over or walked up on and officers. Let me put officers.
You're coming in real low, GG.
Oh, officers. Can you hear me? And so I've been like asked so many questions by an officer that's on my own color side, and I'm like, what is that about? Like, to the point of like, whoa, I didn't even commit a crime. Like, all I'm doing is trying to use the payphone way back when payphones was on, or way back when I was like leaving the movie theater and I carried a cab and the cab took me somewhere it wasn't supposed to, and I knew where I lived and I told them the directions. And I called everybody I knew, and the officers came and my father came and everybody I knew came, and they couldn't do nothing because I was all like, wait a minute, because they were pushing me onto the car and telling me I was being a nuisance, and I'm like, dude, this dude is taking me out of the way. I don't know what he's doing to me, what he's about to do to me. I don't know if I'm gonna get freaking traveled.
And
But
I'm
then
like this. Number one, no officer should ever treat you like that.
exactly.
Especially if you feel as though that something's afoot, something's amiss, a possible sexual assault, robbery, or murder could go through. Even if I think you're lying, I'm still going to give you the dignity and respect.
And always ask for a
Exactly.
supervisor.
Thank you.
Always ask for a supervisor if you feel dissatisfied with the way they're treating you. Seriously, I tell people that all the time.
Because right then and there, if you're feeling that you're legitimately fearful of your life, I don't know. Everybody had to restart their phone this morning. Me too.
Yeah, because he took me out of my way, and that's like not like this is not like the first time this has happened. So I remember when I got attacked, what a few, maybe a year or two back, and people were like, "Well, why don't you just go straight to the cops and say something?" And I'm like, look, they got the guy already. I'm done. I'm over it. They're like, well, maybe your statement will make a point. I'm like, I'm not trying to be like, no. Really?
Because you should have been treated a lot better than that. That's one of the things we're going to tackle this evening, because a lot of people, especially in the black community, get mistreated. and we're tax-paying citizens like anybody else. I'm sorry, I just
It's okay. I mean, it's you know what? It's fine because I called my own. I called my own cop. I called my own brother, and I was all like, "Dude, you better get in contact with some people." And I contact my lawyer friends, and I was all like, "You better get in contact with some people because, seriously, they're acting a fool."
mm,
And then they're like, and then they let me go right away. Like, oh well, Ms. was my name is Genevieve. And Genevieve has nothing to do with all this.
mm.
Not, nope. So why are you messing with me?
And you'll feel as though, like, trust me, I'm not trying to tell Josh's business and Terrell's business unless they're free to want to tell it.
You go
But
ahead.
and you see, black cops get fucked with. A lot of black cops get fucked with in the department, and it's not even because you told on somebody; it's because you exist.
Damn. And I know this.
And it's because, especially if you're going up through the ranks or you're doing something that others can't do, you're gonna be the one accosted.
I try to tell them, but nobody listens about this shit.
And Gold Professor's right. A lot of brothers don't have that option. Most of us, yeah, that's true. That's why we're trying to make a big push for black police, black law enforcement, black fire, black military, where we have a network. We have our own fraternity.
They don't see how many times black cops will stand up for you. But well, you know what? A lot of black cops have stand up against me, but a lot have stood up for me. And
Mm,
I've
That's
worked
because we
with.
understand. That's because we understand more than anybody else where people are coming from. Especially, that's why I think mostly black officers should work in the hood because when I was on for example when I worked Pennsylvania Avenue when I worked that whole corridor, I built a rapport with the dudes over there, whether they was drug dealers, shitheads, or the business store owners. I brought them down to earth, tried to get an understanding of them, and I would always tell the drug dealers, I know you sell that shit, don't sell that shit while I'm working. Do that shit on somebody else's shift, but don't. But at least make me look good while I'm working. Don't fucking, you know what I'm saying, like. Because if you selling that shit and I told you not to, then I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do. And they were always like, okay, I respect that. But a lot
Oh,
of people don't.
you know what I did one time? Okay, this is gonna be maybe y'all gonna find this silly. I got robbed in
Oh
the
yeah.
ghetto, and I called the cops, and I was all like, "Come get me!" And they hecka waited, and I kept calling 911. Like I was all like, "Please, somebody, please come! I got robbed." And then this dude in a bicycle was riding his bike, and he was all like, "Hey, pretty lady," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm not a hooker. Stop." And then he was, he's all like, "I didn't say you was a hooker." He goes, "I saw hooker down the street, and she didn't look like you." I said, "Good." Finally, the cops got by, right? They were like, "So you call the police?" I said, "Yeah, this is an easy job. All you gotta do is take me home." So they took me back to the freaking mountains, the hills,
Mm-hmm.
and then they were like, this was the easiest job ever. I said, "Yeah, write a report on that. Say you saved the girl's life from the ghetto to the top."
Mm-mm-mm.
yeah, shoot. Well, we're gonna continue this one later today, so make sure you tune in, GG. We're gonna have brother Leon, brother Josh. Is Terrell gonna be there
You sure
as
you
well?
want me on?
Yeah, I'll text him.
I'll
I,
see if Key's gonna be involved. There'll be some good stuff. So definitely want everybody to like, share, subscribe.
Thank you,
And
guys.
what time do you want to start this round? 5, 6?
Yeah, that's good. That's good for me.
6 o'clock is good. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all call me so I can rise up like the Undertaker and shit.
Good night.
Hey,
God bless.
Mhm.
all
So
right.
definitely I appreciate these brothers doing the prelims. The main event is gonna be tonight.
Yeah.
My man Craig Harper said when we were on the block hard, we told 12 we knew we'll make sure no pistol play, no bodies jump off, but pack them. The packs gotta move, bro. Yeah, I mean, shit, we know that they're gonna move, but there were ways they had to respect us and we respected them, and a lot of it is different because if you ever notice when you look at a lot of the drug units, a lot of them would just be majority white guys. You never seen it. You notice this in all your years of being a police officer. You never seen an all black drug unit, have you?
Nope. Not at all.
Hey, you never will, pal.
It's Vince McMahon voice.
If you see an all black drug squad, you're fired.
Damn right. Oh man.
So tune in 6 p.m. Eastern. But we're gonna get down with the get down with the first annual Black Law Enforcement Conference. We go, Professor Ruth. Are we all going to sleep now, Charles?
Yo, you're stupid.
Hell yeah.
I was asleep most of the night. Shoot, I'm just waking up. I gotta hit the supermarket and do a couple other things.
Yeah, I gotta do that my damn self.
Oh man, I'm gonna be stretched out like a Tyson punch.
Damn.
Stretched out like a big bitch is a garter belt.
Or look, it was like 1 a.m. I was getting ready to get s'more, get some geflabity, and I passed out. Then I woke up like shit.
Like, girl, I'm about to tell you.
You pulled the Homer Simpson.
Look, Mariah got so mad she went into the living room and went to sleep on the couch.
Damn.
You lucky you weren't taking advantage of it.
Oh, she tried it. She tried it.
Even he was asleep. Like, I can't believe you and your dick restored.
Oh shit.
Y'all crazy as shit, man. Oh, wow.
My goodness. So we're gonna have Leon, Josh, Terrell come up here. Man, it's gonna be a good old time. If you got anybody who's Black law enforcement, tell them to tune in, get the link. There's gonna be some education for the educated. And if you got some people who are anti-police, anti-corrections, please allow them to come up too.
Oh hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, fuck the police. Y'all do nothing in our streets anyway. How you know? I know. Were you watching? No. But how you know?
Nah, they was just on Facebook. Just type in talking shit. I'm angry.
I'm angry.
I'm angry.
I'm mad. Oh, that's funny. Fellas, it has been a pleasure. I will definitely be there. It's time for me to get on some Call of Duty.
I know that's right.
And,
It's time for me to look
back to Westminster.
It's time for me to look for some Call of Duty.
all right. All right.
But I'm gonna be Call of Sleepy in a minute. Then hopefully Call of Booty come over later.
Yes.
Yeah,
Woo!
all right, fellas.
All right.
All right, folks. Thanks again.
Holla.
Woo.